I want to take a moment just to thank you so much for joining me, and I want to thank all my new subscribers. You really help me to support my channel by subscribing and liking and sharing my content, and I just want you to know I appreciate it very much. Today in episode 16, I will share what I know about the ascension process. Before I began my ascension process, I had to wake up to the fact that we live in a construct, which is in no way natural. Further, it blocks out and removes our natural state of being, which remains hidden behind a veil. You might wonder, why create and use a construct? And I'll tell you, because bottom line, ignorance is the foundation for compliance. Whether we believe the construct is created and maintained by an elite class of humans, interdimensionals, and or extraterrestrials, it was set up a long time ago and has not yet been sufficiently challenged in order to dissolve it. Today, it is maintained by sociologies, which include most of us humans at every level of society. One way or another, we all buy into it and maintain it until we wake up and see it for what it really is. The construct is energetic, and as soon as we pull our focus away from it and back into the natural world, the construct begins to self-destruct. We do not need to participate in any form of social reform. We simply need to go through the discomfort of waking up, opening our true eyes, and discovering that the emperor truly has no clothes, or really anything else for that matter. It was all an illusion that we focused on, and it remained not of its own power, but because we failed to sufficiently challenge it globally. Once the scales fall from our eyes, we go through a state of metamorphosis, which I call the ascension process. In the beginning, we create an environment of social isolation in which to prove to ourselves whether or not we are going crazy. It's very, very common when people start to wake up to question their own sanity. When we begin to ask questions, the terms insane, crazy, or even weird are typically used against us. And since we internalize perceived oppression, we begin to doubt ourselves. Now, you might ask yourself, how could a hoax this humongous and on all levels of our perceived reality be created and maintained for this long? That's a really good question. We do not want to believe it. Then we typically ask ourselves, who am I to see a flaw this big, which nobody seems to be seeing or talking about? Am I the only one who sees this? As we continue with our research and reconnection to who we really are, we find the verification of our sanity and find evidence of the construct in every genre, discipline, and fringe rabbit hole available. We also see how these proofs have been hidden from us. Remember that ignorance is the foundation for compliance. Fear is their temple, and until we realize this, the unnatural social order thrives. As we tear down the old beliefs we held, we also realize that we are powerful beings who can self-govern and recreate the world and societies that are congruent with the natural order, of which we're all a part. The effectiveness and deadly nature of the construct is that it includes everything as we perceive as normal. We need to see how this affects everything in our lives, from relationships, politics, religion, the economic system, what we buy, what we eat, and what we allow. Once we recover from the shock, we find mentors and helpers, and we set out on the hero's journey. So if you'd like to know more about the hero's journey, I actually covered it last week. I want to say that there are all kinds of different kinds of interpretations of what ascension or what awakening means, and mine is not the only one. And I don't claim that it's the best or the only one. I think there's room for all of us. But for me, ascension does not mean a spaceship is going to show up and beam us up and take us away to paradise. To me, ascension does not mean that some of us fly up to heaven and have a wonderful existence till the end of eternity, and the rest are left in a hell-like place. Although, I mean, any of those things is possible, but that's not what I'm talking about here. Here I am strictly talking on a personal evolutionary process that takes us out of something that does not work for us and brings us into a state of what is working for us. And the natural part of all of that is discovering who we really are, realizing how lovely each and every one of us really is, and waking up to our tremendous potential and abilities. And I'm telling you, it makes me excited to get out of bed in the morning, even with everything that's going on around me. It doesn't bother me. I shouldn't say that. If I watch too much media, it does, and then I have to stop and remember who I am and what I'm capable of. But you know, everything that we do in this life, we take with us. So the more of this work we do, the more it's done, and we take it with us onto the next amazing adventure. So I'm not even afraid of dying, because I'm working every day to make my tomorrows better. So in my real three-dimensional to five-dimensional reality, my life is getting better and better all the time. But I'm also setting things up for the next life. And I got to tell you, it's tremendously comforting and a hell of a lot better than any of the crap they threw at me, calling it reality within the construct. Okay. Just a reminder, the Quantum Health Transformation online course and other inspiring information is free. And if you would like to help support my work, please purchase some of my beautiful Zen Dome orgone generators. Now, due to the pandemic, we're having difficulty sourcing supplies, and so we're unable to make more at this time, but there's still quite a few to choose from. So visit my website, read up on orgone generators, find out if they are, or maybe not for you, they might be for somebody else. But I got to tell you, they've sure helped me a lot, and they're sure helping a lot of people. I get so much positive feedback, and it just makes me feel so good to be able to supply them. If you would like to enjoy more of my content, check out my website at www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. That's KarenHolton healthcoach.com, where you will find an abundance of free resources to assist with energetic ascension into physical, mental, and spiritual paradise. You will find the 9 steps to quantum health transformation. As I mentioned before, this is absolutely free, no strings attached. It's a comprehensive online lifestyle course. You work at it on your own pace. If you need help, ask. Otherwise, just motor through it. You may need to go through it twice, because the first time it's a little deep in areas, and it takes time to actually put them into practice. It's not really something that you're going to do in a week. This is something where you may choose to take a step and work on it for a whole month, or maybe even longer if that's what you need before you get on to the next step. And it's all okay. There is nobody watching over you to mark you A, B, or C. You all get an A+ from me. Then there's the Quantum Guides show, interviews with awakened masters. So these are people that I interview. I'm the host of the Quantum Guide Show, and they share their quantum work with all of us because everybody has different ways of doing this, right? Another show that I co-host is called Forbidden Transformation with Karen and Chris. And that would be Chris Matthew of Forbidden Knowledge News. And I got to tell you, his show was right there for me for a couple of years. I just binge watched everything he produced because he has something on every topic that's fringe or outside of the box. And he has amazing guests who are very well researched, who've written amazing books and done amazing things on his show. So I really encourage you, if you haven't already, to go check out Forbidden Knowledge News on YouTube. And it's called Beyond Classified on Rockfin. But this show helps you to learn how to make positive ET contact, improve your life, and how to find your experiencer community. And then we have the Fringe View, which is science fiction becomes science fact, as you learn about my real life paranormal and extraterrestrial experiences from my various podcasts. If you would like to support my work, please do check out my online shop where you will find Zendome's Orgonite. And this is my unique brand of orgone generators. They're ethically sourced, they're handmade, and they're double charged for maximum effect. I also have comfort crystals. I just have a few left, but they're energetically infused semi-precious stones. I have lifestyle services, and I also have printable, shareable copies of my lessons. There are PDF downloads also available.